Hi, welcome back to our Zimby Mojo playthrough. We're heading into round 3 and let's start with the refresh phase. So all our tokens are reactivated. No obstacles to flip over, and we draw a card. We get Death Curse. So this is like the little Death Curse. Target sustains 1d4 wounds. King now moves. He's not in the blood mist, so he's just going to move back there. Nice and simple. Now it's our turn. Now I do have a little correction from last time. Jim Felly, the designer, has contacted me to let me know that I'm inadvertently playing a more difficult variant. He subsequently called this the Bloodthirsty variant. Remember I said that, I think at the time we had, say, what did we have? We had a thug here. And I said I couldn't move down through here because this guy would attack me, and likewise this way. That's not actually the case. You can move past thugs. They won't stop you. They won't combat lock you in their combat zone. Once you have engaged in combat with a thug, then yes, he will combat lock you. So with the Bloodthirsty variant, yeah, we can't walk past these without engaging them, but in the regular rules we can. So why don't we switch to that? Why don't we switch to the regular rules and show you how this works? As it goes, I'm quite keen to get involved in some combat anyway, but we don't have to straight away. The thugs have inadvertently left a path open into this shrine. So why don't we go there? Why don't we do that? We'll need 1, 2, 3. We can move, where is it? Oh, here we are. A 2-column, 4 tiles for 1 mojo. So let's do that. So move this 2-column Zimby creature in here. And now we'd like to remove the respective ward guarding the king. In the multiplayer game, you're going to need 2 different Zimbys, 2 different coloured Zimbys in this column to activate this seal. In the solitaire game it's slightly different. This time you're going to have to sacrifice one of your Zimbys, so you need at least a column of 2, because you'll need to sacrifice one and then one to channel its mojo into the seal using the blood of the sacrificed Zimby. So this sacrificed one goes off to the far shore. We will have to activate 1 mojo, channel 1 mojo, and now we get to reveal the seal. And then we can remove the seal and the ward. Now there is an advanced variant where this Zimby has to bring the seal to or adjacent to the ward to remove it. And in this advanced variant, while you're carrying this, it's as if you're burdened, so it's +1 Zimby, so a 2 column would look like a 3 column, for example. But also these will have a special ability that you can use after the ward is removed. So for example this one, the Seal of Water, allows the carrier to move through tiles occupied by other creatures and obstacles. Okay, I think there's an exception on darkness, but anyway, we won't play the advanced rules, we're just learning to play. So now we've opened up a spot and we can get through to the king. My 1 column is a little bit of a weakness. Let's move this in 1, 2, 3, 4. But maybe we can cast a witchery on this thug to get rid of it. And these are coming round this way, remember. All my cards are witcheries, all my scrolls are witcheries right now. And these all target thugs. Do you see these targets? And we've got one that actually targets the king. We're not within range of the king just yet. We've got 3 mojo left. But we could do something like, well, I'm tempted to get another Zimby, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use 2 mojo, this is the cost. And actually let's do it. Let's do 1d3. Let's do 1d3 and cast the Death Curse. Target sustains 1d4 wounds. These wounds may not be prevented by armour. So we're going to cast this spell. It has used up all our mojo. This is discarded. And we've got a range of 3. 1, 2, 3. We're targeting this guy. They have a vitality, a thug of 2. So I need to do at least 2 wounds to kill this guy. So it's 1d4. Ready? That's 3. That's killed him. So he's killed. And these are called barracks tiles, okay? When they're expelled, they go to one of these barracks. And that should mean we've got a free path through to their king. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, unless this one rolls a 6 and comes right up into our combat zone. Now it's time for the thugs to move. So let's start with this one. There's a 2. This one, anything but a 6. It's a 2, good. And this one, as is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, a 2 column thug makes it a lot harder to beat. Now we discard down to 6. We don't have 6, so we move on to round 4. Let's go back to refresh and draw a card. Quite happy with the way things are going so far. Another witchery. Big blast of wind. Target is blowing 2d2 tiles directly away from the channeling Zimby. Okay, king now. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 4. So he's heading this way. This one's called the Ritual of Discord. We choose a random quadrant. Multi-Zimby columns in that quadrant bicker and squabble. Every Zimby column in that quadrant between 2 or more Zimbies expels all but one randomly chosen Zimby. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 2 multi-column and there's only a single Zimby. Okay, next, the Shaman. What I'd like to do, try to set myself up a little bit for next turn. The king's moved off. Let's grab another Zimby. That's going to cost 3. Now I wonder. Target's blown, no one's in range. I could possibly. Sorry, he comes in spent. We could come down here, I suppose. I'll show you how this works. Let's do that. Let's spend 1. We'll move this column in here. Now to attack, all I need to do is declare my intent. Now this isn't likely to be a very good attack. You can only attack on your turn. You declare your turn. You can only make 1 attack per turn. And all we're going to do is have the attacker and defender both roll a die. Our combat roll becomes 1d6 plus brutality and any other effects that we have. Now, the brutality of the king is 1 plus 1 for every thug in play. So we've got 3 in play right now. Okay, this one's in the barracks, he's expelled. So the king has a brutality of 4. We've got a 2 Zimby column, so our brutality is 2. So I'm looking at these to see if there's anything here that we can do to help things out. Now there is a little bonus playing multiplayer. If you have, say, a 4 Zimby column, your brutality here, because it's a green player's turn, is still only 2, but you get a +1 bonus for every other colour Zimby. Alright, so here we've got a 7 column Zimby. Alright, so it's 2 brutality because I'm the green player. On the yellow's player's turn, they'll have 3 brutality because they got 3 yellow Zimbies, but you get +1, so I've got 2 +1 +1 because of 2 other colours. Alright, yellow would have 3 +1 +1. Alright, the number here doesn't matter of others. Alright, so that's multiplayer. For solitaire, no, we've got it a little bit tougher. We don't have the help of any cooperating tribes, so it's just the 2. 2 versus 4 plus the die roll. So we're at a disadvantage so far. I could level the playing field. I've got 2 witcheries here. Spiky bone claws. Target gains +1 brutality. We do have brutal cudgels, which is target creature gains 1d2 brutality, but now this is better. So I'm going to use 2 Mojo, cast Witchery spiny bone claws twice, and I can target myself. Alright, this is a Zimby symbol. You can target a Zimby. Interestingly, look, you can cast it on other people's turns. If you've got Mojo here, play multiplayer and kind of take on, say, the king or the thugs, and side with them against an opponent. Right, so I'm going to spend these 2, which means it's all even in terms of brutality, but right, they'll be black, I'll be white. We need to do 4 wounds because the king has a vitality of 4. Alright, so we've got to exceed his die roll by 4 or more. Okay, so it's a 5 and a 6. That doesn't help, does it? We've managed to do 1 wound. So we could now perhaps push some more witcheries onto the stack. On top of this, we could cast this one and add 1d2 wounds. What this means is, actually, I could have... Let's pull these back. What I could do is say, the roll is, let's stick my brutality to 2. His is 4. Okay, so 4 plus 5 is 9. 6 plus 2 is 8. I know that I'm only going to do 1 wound. I need 1 more brutality to draw level, so I cast that one after. Okay, so you can put these things on after the combat roll, and I could potentially save this one perhaps then for next time. One thing to be aware of when you're attacking the crown though with witcheries is they're kind of immune, not totally, but the crown bearer, this king, he has a 50-50 chance of the witchery having no effect. So again, you roll a die. If you're trying to target the king here, so there's 50% chance of the witchery just completely failing and fizzling out. So currently we're at a draw. I don't need that extra witchery. I could cast the extra witchery and get that wound, but wounds aren't accumulative. So if I only do 1 wound, when we move into the next turn, then the king goes back to full vitality again. That wound is healed effectively. So it's either 4 wounds or nothing. So I'm going to save that witchery. I'm not actually going to cast it. I'm going to keep things as they are. We don't get wounded, he doesn't get wounded. And that does mean I now have 1 Mojo left. But I can't move this Zimby. He's combat locked. Zimbies, zombies and thugs are combat locked. Once they get into a combat with someone, they can't move away. But you can choose when on your turn to do the attack, but you've got to attack every turn with your engaged combat locked Zimbies. The king here, he's not combat locked, so he can move away, but he's probably going to go. Well, he's going to go back here, so I'll remain combat locked. He's still in my combat zone, so we're kind of fighting to the death a little bit here. So not a good plan to get stuck there. But maybe I can move this. I might turn him into a zombie, and zombies are good at holding up thugs. So I think I'm going to move this guy. So I'm going to use my last 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move him up here. Yeah, we'll do that. Now the thugs move. Okay, let's start with these 2. You need 2 active Zimbies to make a zombie. So what you do to turn this into a zombie, which I'll probably do next time, send 2 active Zimbies to the shore, to the far shore, and replace one of your active Zimbies on the board with a zombie. Alright? And they shamble around. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll go this way actually. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go this way. See what happens. Let's move this guy first. Hopefully he won't get a 6 and catch me up. That's a 4. And then one of these. That's a 4. The other one. That's a 1. And now we've got this one here at the barracks. Now the guy at the barracks is going to return to one of these random portals. So let's roll a 1d4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll see where he returns. It's 4, so he's going up the top there. So he'll come up here. And then he's going to find his way back to his path. Now he's equidistant. He can go this way or this way. So we'll just choose randomly where he goes. Let's say 1 or 2 he goes this way, 3 or 4 he goes this way. Okay, so 3 or 4. So we're going to make him go this way. And he's going to move 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 4 back on the board. Just got down to 6. Yeah, that's going to end the turn. So we're going to wrap up right there. Join me next time.